You're brainwashed. You gotta stop telling me what to do. You need to look after mum yourself. I've had enough of your bullshit. You would have smelt the burnt Bakelite of my mother's old rotary phone as my brother Bob slammed down the phone. The hell? I couldn't believe it. You're saying I'm brainwashed. I've just done a weekend seminar with Landmark Education. I'm more transformed than anybody on the planet. I'm now free from my childhood conditioning, mentally and emotionally. I can't believe it. And he thinks I'm brainwashed. What the hell does he think he's talking about? He doesn't know anything about this. I can't believe it. Starting to make me wonder, maybe this stuff doesn't work. Still not having this breakthrough. Something wrong. Have you ever felt you're transformed and enlightened? It doesn't make an ounce of difference? Or worse, your arrogance and your hubris makes it 10 times worse? Have you ever been brainwashed? Well, Landmark has a method to free or transform you from these beliefs. You look at the pros and the cons, and if the pros outweigh the cons, then why would you change? There's still some juice in that belief. Just got to hold on a bit longer. I'm going to give it up. And for me, the pros were that I was right. I could dominate my brother. I was 60 miles away. I had a round trip of 120 miles. He only lived 10 miles away. So I was definitely right. But he didn't appreciate that. He didn't understand that for some reason. I just couldn't grasp why he couldn't. It was driving me crazy. Then, of course, on the cons, we were at each other's necks all the time. It's just driving us crazy, stressing us out, and ruining the one and only relationship I had with my one and only brother. It was terrible. Definitely wasn't working. But I wasn't going to give it up because I knew I didn't want to travel all that distance. I believed I needed to be at home. I needed to be doing my projects. I didn't need to be traveling around like this. So I definitely wasn't going to give it up. And then this really strange and bizarre realization that I actually didn't know my brother. He's 5 years younger. Just a little kid, as far as I'm concerned. We barely went to school at the same time. We had a different set of friends. And I didn't know what was going on in his life anyway. I didn't really care for the most part either. That wasn't good. Definitely not a good realization. But it made me realize this was crazy, me telling what seemed a complete stranger what he should and shouldn't do. It just wasn't, it was crazy. Just stop it. So I just gave it up. And the minute I gave it up, my brother rang and we started to have a new relationship, a new conversation after he said he would never, ever speak to me again. It's just totally miraculous, just off the scale. I couldn't believe it personally. And this was my new reprogramming, rebrainwashing, that I now would ask questions to understand, as Stephen Covey would say, seek first to understand, from his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People in his book. And then I would get to know the person, understand them without the judgments and imposing and having to make or feel I had to make him do something. I just got to be with him as my brother and to understand what was going on with himself, his wife, his kids, the whole bit that I was not aware of. Are you brainwashed? Do you believe your brother, your sister, your parents, your friends, or your enemies should or shouldn't do something? What would happen if you just gave up those beliefs? What new conversations could you have with them?